I'm a sculptor. I have an interest in light, color, and illusions. And when I was a child, an interest that I had, actually I found a book in a bookstore, and it had anamorphic illusions. And for those of you who aren't familiar with anamorphic illusions, it's forced or it's a perspective that is not readable. The way to make it correct is to view it either at an angle, whether it's on a wall or let's say on a road, or you can use a mirror. Now there are two individuals here who will use both forms of anamorphia. Our last speaker has a business card. If you look at the card, it has vertical and horizontal lines. To properly read this, to read his name, you have to hold it at right angles to your eye. And it says Tim Rowett, the Toy Man, on one side. And then on the other, he has, I believe it's his address, because it's 8 is it Road? Where are you? Cambridge. Okay. So that's his use of anamorphia. And then up in the viewing room, the exhibit room, there's a wonderful piece that uses a mirror. And that's by Antonio Petrikov. And the examples that I saw as a child were more like Antonio's. Well, 27 years ago, I asked how could I, as a sculptor, take the flat anamorphia and make it three-dimensional. So over the past years, starting with a self-portrait and a tubular mirror, I found that there was great satisfaction because I was able to do it. And I set up a photograph of myself in front of a plane mirror. Then I had my tubular mirror, and I did have a grid. And the grid for the circular one was circular with radiating grid lines. For the photograph, I just had a square grid. I did this because it seemed traditional. But now that I put in the new element of height, all that was thrown out. So I had to sit in front of the mirror, look at the photograph, sit in front of the tubular mirror, and start sculpting. Well, that came out very well. I then took my circular mirror, I cut it in half, I took the outer edges, and I moved them and connected them, and I made a new mirror. I made a wave or an S-shaped mirror. Now this I understand, as of last month, I've now added to the history of anamorphia with this new mirror. And what I have found, goes the other way, is that there is an added dimension in the concave part of the mirror. What reflects off of that portion is the parabolic, and the reflection appears to be off the surface and in space. While on the convex part of the mirror, I can have from low relief to extremely high relief to three-dimensional forms. And I have to try to wed the two, and the viewers are trying to grab the reflection in this bit, but they're also trying to understand what's happening over in this bit. And I'm doing the 12 chapters of Alice in Wonderland. And if I could show you, I don't think you can see these. The sculptures are done, they start on a table, bronze table. The legs are part of the interpretation of the chapter. When you come to the top of the table, that's where the sculpture sits. The tables are 24 inches in diameter. The mirror is approximately 16 inches high, 18 inches across. On the one side of the mirror, is the world of reality. It's all bronze. And it's low relief to extremely high relief to freestanding figures. On the opposite side, the parallel world, which I hope that fits into the theme of 11, is the world of abstraction of the dream world. And that's where Alice goes through her adventures. And there is the floating figures. And then there's also, and then this particular chapter is chapter 1. So this is the side of the reality world. Let's see if I can get another one. Okay. On this side is Alice falling down the rabbit hole. And then this little blobby picture bit over here, this figure starts to become more recognizable, and the marmalade puddle becomes the portrait of Lewis Carroll. And right now I'm on chapter 6. And next year will be the 150th anniversary of the printing of Alice. So if you're in New York or within your own community, please help celebrate. It will be in the month of October. So I thank you. Oh, and also, I do not use, I do all this intuitively. I don't use computer scanners, printers, 3D printers, or CNC. And it takes time, but if there's anyone who knows how I can speed this up, please come see me. Thank you.